last year for shoplifting, failing to appear on June the 6th in Pima County Justice Court. It looks like you also failed to appear in January of this year. Your next court date on this is going to be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Your bond is $250. No alcohol, no drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You don't go back to the incident location. Douglas Taylor is appointed to represent you on that charge. And I have a stack of charges here out of Tucson City Court. And I have new charges charging you with criminal damage, as well as possession of paraphernalia. And I also have charges March the 26th for possession of paraphernalia, 6257 East Broadway. Charges for domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, criminal damage, and possession of paraphernalia, November 9th of 2022. Along with failures to appear, most recently on December the 7th, after pretrial services released you on November the 7th. Charges for driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs, alcohol concentration of 0.08 or greater on a suspended license, multiple failures to appear, starting with November 23rd of 2018. Charges for possession of paraphernalia, November 3rd of 2022. 2 counts, along with failures to appear. Obstructing public highway, obstruction, refusal to provide truthful name on December 6th of 2022, failures to appear. Possession of paraphernalia on April the 8th of 2023, failures to appear. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drug on August the 12th of 2023, failures to appear. Criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia, November 6th of 2023. Along with failures to appear. Shoplifting, September 28th of 2023. Failures to appear. And charges for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass, possession of prescription-only drugs on January 25th of this year. Failure to appear. We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $750. You post the bond, record date's May the 9th at 9:30 in the morning. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen next Friday, April the 12th. Excuse me, next week, Friday, April the 12th at 1:45. You're not to drive without a valid license. You're not to possess, consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Community acts of domestic violence, have contact with Isabel Wilson or Monica Noriega. You're not to go to their residences. You're not to go to 15 West Grant or 405 North Silver Bell.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes.
So there's stuff for you to fill out. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Michael Keith Holloway.
Mr. Holloway, I've got several things here for you. We appear to have a problem appearing in court.
Oh, if I may, can I speak now? I've been incarcerated for the last 2 years, so I've been in prison. It's not that I haven't been showing up. I've been in jail or prison, so.
From when to when?
It's been on 2 years, so I was arrested 2022, and then my county dates were from 2021, approximately, in there. And they picked me up on this I got released from prison today, and they picked me up to come here. I didn't even know about this until the last like 2 weeks of my prison sentence. My family's actually in town waiting to pick me up, so yeah.
Where's your family live?
Safford, Arizona. It's like a 2-hour trip. Altogether, I've done over 2 in like 2 years, 6 months, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact dates, but I know I've done that much time. I've changed my life. I've gotten sober. I haven't broken any laws. I was rehabilitated in prison. Start doing right. You know what I mean? I have a job interview tomorrow.
Well, your next court date in Pima County Justice Court, we've got charges here that go back to May 25th of 2021 for possession of paraphernalia, public nuisance, and criminal trespass. Your next court date is going to be a week from today at 10:30 in the morning. You understand you need to be present in the Pima County Justice Court at that time.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And we have charges out of Tucson City Court. Criminal trespass on June 9th of 2021. Along with failure to appear. Criminal trespass on May 20th of 2021, along with failures to appear.
May of 2021, I was in Graham County Jail, ma'am. I couldn't appear, or I would have shown up.
And what is your address in Safford?
My address is 1801 South 5th Avenue, apartment number 2, Safford, Arizona, 85546.
Apartment 2,
Yes, ma'am.
and zip is 85.
546.
Your next court date on this matter is going to be May the 2nd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. You understand you need to be present at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't go to any Circle K stores or to 26 South Evelyn Way.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And was I OR'd on these cases?
This time, yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
J.C. Lawrence.
I have quite a stack of things here for you, Mr. Lawrence. And I know we have a victim here. I've got some letters from your family. I can order you, but I cannot enforce an order telling you to get into rehab. If your family wants you to go to rehab and you're willing to go to rehab, I will consider releasing you on these charges. But if there's a problem with that, you're going to be held in custody.
Okay.
Mr. Lawrence, James Lawrence, did you wish to add anything further?
Not at this time. Well, I would like to say that we just really want Casey to get the help that he needs. And my whole family is really exhausted from the whole situation with drug use and what happened to my older brother. And we can't have that happen again. It's just going to destroy the family.
Now, are you willing to have contact with him or no?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Oro Valley City Court. Charges for possession of paraphernalia and failing to appear in court. Looks like you're supposed to appear in court perhaps last week.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Understand when you have a court date, you need to be in court. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your next court date's April the 10th at 10:30 in the morning. Absolutely no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you need to get into substance abuse treatment immediately
Okay.
and provide proof to your court. And we have the new charges from today for domestic violence assault. The program overrode the JP court dates with the Oro Valley date. So what did the JP court state? Leave the arraignment out of custody. And in front of you said 10:30? Your next court date on these new charges is April 29th at 10:30 a.m. in Pima County Justice Court. And again, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, and substance abuse treatment. And I have charges that go back to December 15th of last year. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs, criminal trespass, and failing to appear. Again, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You don't go back to 4151 North Oracle. Get substance abuse treatment, and your next court date is May the 1st at 9 a.m. in the Tucson City Courts. You've got 3 court dates, 3 different courts. Right? Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Winston Ali.
I have a number of things here for you. I have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court for shoplifting, failing to appear.
Yeah.
We'll appoint Adam Waters to represent you on these charges. Your bond is $250. Your next court date will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I have a stack of files here for you out of Tucson City Court. I have current charges for criminal damage and disorderly conduct, both domestic violence related. I have charges and those are alleged to have occurred on looks like earlier today. Then it looks like additional charges or possible duplicate charges. Then we have charges from March the 30th for driving on a suspended license, as well as related civil charges. We'll dismiss the criminal charges. And you'll simply need to appear on those civil charges. Then we have charges from February the 1st of this year for domestic violence, disorderly conduct, as well as failures to appear. Charges for criminal damage and domestic violence, disorderly conduct from November the 14th of last year, along with failures to appear. You've previously been told not to have contact with your parents or your grandfather and not to go to their residence. Here we are. And then we have charges for domestic violence, disorderly conduct from May the 7th of 2022, along with the petition to revoke probation for failure to comply. We'll reappoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Your next court date is Thursday at 1:45. Your bond is $750. Beginning right now, you have no contact with your grandfather or your parents. You don't go to their residence. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No acts of domestic violence. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ollie. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Sorry, Ms. Spaliani.
I have a number of things here for you. I have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court. Shoplifting, criminal trespass, failing to appear in court.
This time, sorry, Your Honor, they didn't really arrest me for shoplifting. It's because I was trespassing again and I was at the Quick Trip. And I
You
had-
really don't want to talk about facts at this point.
All right.
And on that matter, we'll appoint Caitlin Waters to represent you. Your court date will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Your bond is $250. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't return to the incident location.
So will I be staying in regular area or what is it called?
Exactly where you are will depend, that's up to the jail. We also have a warrant out of Sarita for criminal trespass.
If my court date is tomorrow, will they be taking me back to stay with the regular population?
I do not know. Your bond on this will also be $250. Same other conditions. And what are Sarita dates? Because it pulled them. Alma, Sarita end date. Thank you. Your next court date in Sarita will be the 9th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Darlene Shavira Chavez is appointed to represent you on that matter.
Okay.
And I have a stack of files for you out of Tucson City Court. Current charges for possession of paraphernalia, criminal trespass.
I thought those were left behind. Sorry, Your Honor, never mind. I really have to use the restroom.
That's today.
Huh.
And I have charges from March 31st for criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia. That's at 3364 South 6th. Charges from yesterday for assault, disorderly conduct, and obstruction at 3402 South 6th. Charges from March the 26th for shoplifting at 4702 East Speedway. Charges from March the 18th for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass, 3175 North First, failing to appear on April the 1st. And charges from November 7th of 2023 for possession of paraphernalia along with failures to appear. Will appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Your next court date will be Thursday at 1:45. Bond is $250. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go back to 1425 West Grant, 3364 South 6, 3402 South 6, 4702 East Speedway, or 3175 North First.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Lorenzo Verdugo Lopez.
Mr. Verdugo Lopez. First thing I have here is a warrant for you out of Maricopa County Superior Court. Possession of narcotic drug, possession of dangerous drug, possession of paraphernalia, and shoplifting. All occurred, it looks like about March the 11th of this year. Failing to appear in court. Bond is $500.
Yeah, can I be heard on the bond for the felony?
Pardon me?
Can I be heard on the bond for the felony? It's in the Maricopa warrant for drugs, felony drug possession. It's a 3-1.
You're not appointed, but
Thank you, Your Honor. Pretrial Services does recommend that he be released to their supervision. Mr. Verdugo Lopez could self-report to Maricopa County. His only prior felony was in 2016. He was able to get that designated a misdemeanor. Given the nature of the charges and given the fact that he has no felony convictions, we would ask you to give him an opportunity to self-report to Maricopa.
all right. You need to call Maricopa County Superior Court. You'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services in their enhanced supervision program, which will include behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Maricopa County's number is on your paperwork. You need to call them tomorrow.
Am I getting released? Huh?
We also have new misdemeanor charges for criminal trespass. Your next court date on this is April the 29th at 8:30 in the morning in Pima County Justice Court. You don't go back to 1020 to the incident location on Mabel. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And again, substance abuse, behavioral health assessment and treatment.
So am I getting released today?
Yes, you will be. Signature. Oh, we in that, I did.
Oh.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Jeffrey Autry.
Mr. Autry, citation is charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage. Your next court date on this is going to be next week, Wednesday at 1:30 in the afternoon. Your bond is $500. You're not to have contact with Stephanie Sullivan. No alcohol, no drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You don't go to her residence. You can go back once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. I also have a warrant here. Oh, no, never mind. It's just an old DV that you didn't comply. Thank you, Mr. Autry.
All right.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Gabriel Guzman.
Mr. Guzman, citations charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage, and disorderly conduct.
What, if I may speak, ma'am? I'm just curious as what their criminal damages. I don't remember that. I just remember the DV charge. I don't remember any damage.
Looks like there might be some damage to a guitar. Your next court date is going to be May the 2nd at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Conditions of release, no alcohol or illegal drugs. No acts of domestic violence, no contact with the alleged victims in this matter. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't go back to the residence except once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings.
Yes, ma'am.
And you obtain a behavioral health assessment and begin any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Will I be released or,
As long as you follow those conditions, yes.
okay, thank you, ma'am.
Raise
Any problems with the program again? Problems with the program again?
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening, I'm Judge Dade, and you, sir, are?
Eric Mesa, and I'm Joel Chorney appearing for Mr. Mesa, Your Honor.
Are you filing a notice of appearance?
That's the plan. I haven't had a chance to yet, but he has retained me. I may be heard on probable cause, Your Honor, and when you're ready, of course.
Now is not the time on a misdemeanor matter to be heard on probable cause.
Well, the issue, Your Honor, is that the information we received from the agency doesn't explain what it is Mr. Mesa is accused of doing.
Well, it doesn't need to on a misdemeanor, and the citation does not, but there are officer's notes that indicate it. Repetitive text messages, including cursing, even after being asked to stop.
Okay. Very well, Your Honor. Thank you. I wasn't aware of that information.
I'm surprised there weren't some additional charges filed.
I'm
Just
sorry?
make them like, oh, just looking at the pretrial services report, it appears that there could have been a DVIJP filed, but
I thought the information from pretrial is that the order protection post-states the alleged incident.
not from what I have. Oh, 216, okay. Yeah, there's some confusion on the citation. Next court date's going to be May the 7th at 1:30 in the afternoon in Tucson City Court. Courtroom number 10. You have absolutely no contact with Ms. Reed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That includes text messages.
Yes.
Right, thank you.
He's being released this evening, Your Honor.
Unless something comes up, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good evening.
Good evening, I'm Judge Nate, and you, sir, are?
Juan Rogers.
And is there a DOC hold?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rogers, citations here charging you with domestic violence disorderly conduct alleged occurred on January 30th of last year, along with failures to appear in court. It also charges for shoplifting, November 1st of last year, failure to appear in court. Will appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $250. Next court date will be video review next week, Friday, at about 1:45. Right, thank you, Mr. Roger. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are Mr. Alvarez. I've got a couple things here for you. I have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court. Possession of drug, possession of paraphernalia alleged occurred on the 10th of February. We'll appoint Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges.
Okay.
Set an arraignment date for April the 9th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that you give Mr. Alvarez the opportunity, again, with pretrial. I understand he was previously released to pretrial. However, both of these cases are personal drug possession. At least according to the pretrial workup, he is eligible for steps court in the first case and smart court in the second. Given that, we would ask you to give him an opportunity.
No, I don't think he'd be eligible for steps on the first case.
Oh, okay, was indicted. But then, Your Honor, regardless, given the nature of the charge, we would ask you to give him an opportunity with pretrial on both.
Mr. Alvarez, do you understand when you have a court date, you need to appear, and that when you're released to pretrial services, you need to stay in touch with them?
Yes, I lost the paperwork.
That's not an excuse.
Understand.
All right, on this matter, I'll release you to the third-party custody of pretrial services under their enhanced supervision program. That will include behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. No alcohol or illegal drugs. And again, your next court date is a week from today. That's Tuesday at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Pima County Justice Court. And we have new charges for possession of dangerous drugs, possession of paraphernalia. As counsel noted, I'm again appointing public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And as counsel noted, you appear to be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS. That would require you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short period of time. If you choose to participate in the program and successfully complete it, then the charges will be dismissed without any formal charge. Did you want to learn more about that program at your next hearing?
Yes.
So your next hearing on this is going to be, again, Tuesday, but that Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock in Pima County Superior Court. Same conditions of release, no alcohol, illegal drugs, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Council waive time for preliminary hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary hearing date will be set for May the 21st at 1:30. Thank you, Mr. Alvarez.
You're welcome.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Yeah, my name is David Carlos Ron.
Mr. Saron, interim complaint charging you with first-degree burglary and possession of burglary tools. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Pre-trial's recommendation, no, Your Honor.
And the state will submit on its written recommendation.
Preliminary hearing date will be April 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. You'll be released to the third-party custody pretrial services under their enhanced supervision. That will include substance abuse and behavioral health assessment and treatment, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no tobacco products, no firearms or weapons, including simulated weapons, flare guns, and no ammunition. Do you understand that?
Yes.
They have misdemeanor charges. Charges for shoplifting, July 26th of 2023, failure to appear. Charges for shoplifting on May the 25th of 2023. Failure to appear. Your next court date on this will be May the 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand you need to appear in court?
Yes.
Your attorney tells you you don't need to come to court. Your attorney does not represent you on these charges, and you still need to be in Tucson City Court. You don't go back to 9600 East 22nd Street or to any Kohl's stores. Again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. Thank you, Mr. Sadone. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Good evening. My name is Araya Gelkin.
Ms. Galkin. Interim complaint charging with theft of means of transportation, third-degree burglary, and possession of burglary tools. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges that either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
And pre-trial's recommendation, no, Your Honor.
Preliminary hearing date's April 22nd at 1:30. You'll be released to the third-party custody pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Chase Green.
Mr. Green. Warrant here out of Pima County Superior Court. Domestic violence, aggravated assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, failing to comply with the court order, and child or adult, vulnerable adult abuse. We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that you give Mr. Green an opportunity on pretrial services release. This is his first felony arrest of any kind. Pretrial services was able to speak with his girlfriend. She confirmed that they reside together, and that is separate and apart from any alleged victim. Mr. Green has never been arrested previously in this matter. There was a warrant that was issued that he was picked up on. Given his absolute lack of criminal history, given confirmed housing separate from the alleged victims, and given that he has never been previously picked up on this warrant, we would ask that you give him an opportunity on pretrial services release.
And Your Honor, I was able to look this case up since it was a warrant. And the information I have is that he has pending federal felony charges, and he was on release for those federal charges when he committed this offense. I provided a little bit about the circumstances of the offense in my recommendation. He threatened to kill himself with a firearm. The adult victim tried to leave a home with a minor toddler victim, but the defendant grabbed the adult by the throat, forced her to the ground, and pointed a firearm at her forehead. As such, we believe he's a risk to the victim, to the minor victim, who is now, I believe, placed with her mother. And given that he's facing mandatory prison time and does have those pending federal charges, that he used a deadly weapon, the firearm, we are asking for the amount listed in the warrant.
And Your Honor, in speaking to Mr. Green, and I think this is probably why I didn't show up on the pretrial workup, that was a misdemeanor. He served, I think pretrial just confirmed that he pled to a misdemeanor in the federal case. He completed that sentence, I think he said yesterday, today. And then I guess he was probably brought here. So there is no pending federal case that is a misdemeanor conviction.
Criminal arraignment is going to be April the 9th at 1:30. Bond is $25,000. Post the bond, you'll be in a decision of pretrial services, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact with alleged victims. You don't go near the victim's residence, work, or school. Thank you, Mr. Green. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are Mr. Jacobo. In a complaint charging with unlawful flight from law enforcement, possession of a firearm, possession of narcotics, possession of paraphernalia. And Roy, we need to correct something out here. I missed it before.
Bless you.
That should be a T. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Given pretrial's recommendation, no, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
Your Honor, we are asking for the $5,000 warrant, or the $5,000 bond plus release to pretrial services. He has 4 failure to appears in his prior case from 2019. He's a 6 and a 6 on NCA and FTA. As such, we believe a bond is appropriate.
You understand you may not possess firearms,
Yes, Your Honor.
not in your vehicle, not in your house.
Yes.
I'll give you a chance on enhanced supervision of pretrial services that will include behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Again, no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or weapons. Next court date, April 22nd at 1:30.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Matthew Latimer.
Mr. Latimer. There were charges here charging with possession of narcotic paraphernalia, possession of narcotics. States dismissing these charges, that is dismissal without prejudice, which means that they may refile the charges at another court date. I also have charges for criminal trespass. Also alleged to occur today. Charges for criminal trespass at 4645 East Speedway. Alleged occurred on January the 18th. Charges for possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs on February the 19th. Criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia on February the 15th. Your next court date on these is going to be April the 24th at 9 a.m. Tucson City Court. You understand you need to be present this time.
Yes.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, substance abuse assessment and treatment. You don't go back to 600 North Swan, 4645 East Speedway, or 1078 North Swan. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Latimer. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Wayne Moyer.
Mr. Moyer. I have interim complaint charging with possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotics, possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and if either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Given pretrial's recommendation, no, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we'd just like to highlight his FTA 9 pending misdemeanor matters stemming from 2019 all the way to current times. He has 3 prior felony convictions. We do believe he's a risk to not appear, and we would ask that you set a nominal bond, the $500 bonds or less.
Preliminary hearing date is April the 12th at 1:30. Bond is $500. If you post the bond, you'll be distributed of pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think pretrial said he was eligible for smart court.
Yeah, start court hearing a week from today at 9. And then I have a big stack of files here for you out of Tucson City Court. Charges for driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs on May 28th of last year. Along with failures to appear. Charges for soliciting from a median, April 23rd of 2019. Failures to appear. Charges for criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, May 12th of 2019. Failure to appear. Charges for criminal trespass on June 3rd of 2019. Failures to appear. Charges for possession of paraphernalia on July 12th of 2019. Failures to appear. Charges for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass on December the 11th of 2019. Failures to appear. Charges for criminal trespass November 12th of 2020. Failure to appear. Charges for obstructing a thoroughfare on April 27th of 2023. Failure to appear. Possession of paraphernalia on May the 18th of 2023. Failure to appear. Will appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $750. You post the bond, your court date's May the 2nd at 9 a.m. in Tucson City Court. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen next week, Friday on the 12th at about 1:45. You're no alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to drive without a valid license. You're not to go to 4676 East Grant, 4625 East Grant, 2475 North Swan, to Walmart, or to the Arcadia Wash. Thank you, Mr. Moyer. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are? Ms. Ramos, I have a warrant out of Santa Cruz County. Possession of dangerous drugs for sale, possession of narcotic drug for sale. Possession or use of narcotic drug. Failures to appear. Next court date will be a review hearing on May the 2nd at 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll be held on a $2,500 bond. If you post the bond, you'll be the superintendent of pretrial services, and you'll need to contact Santa Cruz County immediately. We also have charges for possession of paraphernalia on June 20th of 2023, along with failures to appear.
Your Honor, she just wanted to ask the court if she could be released a pretrial self-report to Santa Cruz County. She does reside with her grandmother. She would be able to self-report.
Given that she has 6 failures to appear in this matter, no.
Failure to appear is trying to like do better. Trying to be there for my kids. My son has his first baseball game tomorrow.
All right, on these city charges, I'll release you on these charges. Court date's May the 2nd at 2 o'clock. There may be a video review before that. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you as long as you're in custody. Thank you, Ms. Ramos. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Shabazz Spencer.
Mr. Spencer. Felony charge for possession of paraphernalia. The state's moving to dismiss those charges. That is a dismissal without prejudice, which means that they may refile those charges at another date.
Okay.
I also have a warrant out of Sahuarita Municipal Court for criminal trespass. Goes back quite a ways to December of 2015.
Long time ago when I jumped off a freight train, I was a train rider coming through.
You really don't want to talk about facts of the case.
Okay.
Alma, you gave me JP court dates on this. And it's a Sahuarita court. I need Sahuarita court dates, out date, please. At 1:30, did you say? 8:30. Yeah, no. No, never mind. My bad on that. Your next court date on this is April the 29th at 8:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. No alcohol or illegal drugs, and you don't go back to the incident location. You understand that?
I do understand.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer.
You good? I think that was our last hearing. Oh, we have.
Yeah, we've got an AHO hearing, but nothing else there. Correct. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are? And your name, please?
What's your
And
last?
your last name? Ms. Bertaba, it looks like I've got a couple warrants here out of Pima County Justice Court for theft and disorderly conduct, along with failures to appear. Next court date's April 29th at 8:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. You're still in custody. You need to notify the Justice Court. You understand that? No alcohol or illegal drugs. You need to abide by any previous conditions of release. All right, and they'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, nope, hold on, I've got another matter for you. We have charges for possession of paraphernalia on October 4th of last year, failure to appear in court. Shoplifting August 1st of 2022, failures to appear in court.
Pretrial.
Your next court date on these is going to be April the 18th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You need to notify city court if you're still in custody in Ajo. you don't go back to 3200 North Oracle, and again, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Right? Thank you, Ms. Butterbaugh.